This past week in India, it felt like watching two completely different countries at the same time. On one side, you had all this glitz, celebrity visits, huge sports deals. But on the other, you had these really serious crises unfolding, both online and in the real world. The national conversation was just all over the place. So what we're going to do today is try to cut through all that noise and figure out the one story that actually connects all of these things.
Okay, let's dive right in. Look at this. On one hand, it was all about the spectacle, right? Messi's visit was a huge deal. An IPL player was bought for a mind-boggling 25 crores. People were even talking about John Cena's retirement. But then you look at the other side of the coin, and things get, well, a lot darker. We had a massive AI deepfake crisis, the air quality in the capital went over 600, and there was that shocking video of a chief minister pulling a woman's hijab. And that massive contrast is really the story we need to talk about.
All right, first up, let's talk about our digital lives, which, as we saw this week, have really become a double-edged sword. So what happened was an AI-generated deepfake, which is, a super realistic but totally fake video of a really popular social media creator just blew up online. It caused her an immense amount of distress, obviously, and she had to file a police report. And look, this isn't just a one-off thing. It's part of this really disturbing trend of digital violation that shows just how vulnerable we all are online.
And this is where it gets really messy, right? You see this massive hypocrisy because you've got people publicly talking all about women's safety and respect. But then you go into the private chats, the DMs, the comment sections, and it's those very same people asking, hey, got a link? They're the ones spreading it, fully aware that this could happen to literally anyone, their sister, their friend, anyone.
That whole theme of denial, it leads us straight into our next big topic, the absolutely alarming state of our physical environment, and the even more alarming official reaction to it.
Okay, get this. In big cities like Delhi, the air quality index, the AQI, shot past 600. 600? Now, to put that into perspective for you, anything over 50 is considered unhealthy. We're talking about numbers that aren't just bad for you. They're literally hazardous to be breathing in. So you've got this undeniable data, right? And what's the official response? Complete and utter denial. This was an actual statement made in Parliament, questioning the proven scientific link between this pollution and lung damage. This isn't just sweeping the problem under the rug. It's basically saying the rug doesn't even exist. And that's the core of it, right? This incredible contradiction. So on one side, you have actual citizens out there on the streets protesting to save entire ecosystems like the Ara Valley Hills from getting bulldozed for new malls. You've got vital mangrove forests being cut down for another highway. And on the other side, what was the government's big solution to this air apocalypse? Banning tandoors. Yeah, the disconnect is just staggering. So what's really at the heart of all these disconnects? Well, to figure that out, we got to look at some hard data from the World Inequality Report. This really puts numbers to that feeling that something is deeply, deeply divided in our society.
Okay, first, a real quick explainer so we're all on the same page. Income is pretty simple, right? It's the money you earn, like your salary. Wealth, though, is the whole shebang. It's everything you own, your house, your investments, what's in your bank account. And the difference between these two is where the real story is.
All right, let's kick things off with income. So the report shows that the top 10% of people in India, they take home more than half of the entire country's income. Meanwhile, you take the entire bottom half of the population, 50% of the people, and they're left scrambling for just 15% of that pie. But okay, if you thought that was bad, wait till you see the numbers on wealth. It's on a whole other level. The top 10% own 2/3 of the nation's total wealth. But get this, the top 1%, just the 1%, they own a mind-blowing 40% of everything in the country.
So to really understand what that looks like in the real world, check out this analogy. Imagine you've got 100 chocolates for 100 kids. Simple enough. But here's how it actually plays out. The top 10 kids, they get 75 of the chocolates. The next 40 kids, they get 23. And the bottom 50 kids, they have to share just 2 chocolates between all 50 of them.
And this inequality, it's not just about money. It spills right over into our environmental crisis. The wealthiest 10%, with their lifestyles, they're responsible for almost 3/4 of all carbon emissions. And the poorest half of the population, the ones who get hit hardest by climate change, they contribute a tiny 3%.
So when you have this kind of deep inequality and a deteriorating environment, what's the logical next step? Well, we're seeing it now, a serious brain drain.
and a money drain.
And this isn't speculation. This is from the government's own data. Almost 1 million Indians, 900,000, have given up their citizenship in just the last 5 years. They're not just taking a job overseas, they are completely renouncing their citizenship, and a huge chunk of them are millionaires and billionaires.
So why are they leaving? Well, what's really interesting is that it's not just about finding a better job anymore. Instead, they're talking about a collapsing quality of life. The bad air, the bad water, and this fundamental feeling that the authorities just don't have the will to fix these basic core problems. It's not just a brain drain anymore, it's a massive wealth drain too.
Which brings us to the final and maybe most important question of all. We've seen it, right? The toxic air, the digital abuse, the staggering inequality. The problems are crystal clear. And a lot of the solutions, like investing in clean air, holding polluters accountable, they seem pretty straightforward. So, if the problems are so obvious, why does it always seem to fall on the people to raise their voice and demand a fix?